so fucking fascinating. Was that an explosion? Van Velding and fucking uh, Vanilla Viking Banana. That sounded like a goddamn explosion. Fuck. You guys blow something up? Anyone blow something up? No? Whoop. Oh. Yeah, I know you're fucking super pissed, because you're always super pissed. Nothing particularly looks exploded. Let me check my room here. Apparently I just noped out of here without even going to my house. 19 here, 19, yeah. Mother fucker. Keep doing this, and yet the default object that I hold in my hand is an axe. So yes, this is a hell of my own making. I got no idea what I'm doing here. I'm gonna kill the zombie pigman because I fucking just love fucking doing that. Oof, connection is dog shit today. Ugh, God. So yeah. The deal is, I've been wanting to talk for a while about internet stuff and how everything on the internet is goddamn fake, including me. Like, I try not to come on here and be like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm glad you're here, because that's obviously disingenuous. And yet I am innately disingenuous. I try not to get meta here, because I think one of the worst things you can do is if you're doing like an internet thing is to just be all meta about it. I think you can earn being meta. Jim Sterling earns being meta. I think he goes a little too far on it, because basically you're here to be drawn into the I'm not really sure what the appeal of what me doing here is. I assume it's just my voice as I talk about random shit and then do some Minecraft shit. So I assume the appeal of the shit isn't me talking about the shit. I do occasionally talk about fucking production schedules and things like that, but mostly that's as a way to segue into something else. And today I'm going to be segueing into getting my goddamn Silk Touch pickaxe and fucking ripping this down and ripping this down, and we're going to start on that. Oh, I gotta move all this. Right, like, I'm not here to be like, we're friends and stuff. Like, when someone does that, when PewDiePie or whoever's like, oh, hey, everybody, welcome to the show, or whatever PewDiePie says, I don't fucking know. Like, that's just Walmart greeter bullshit. You know, it's completely disingenuous. And your affection for him is based on the affection for a character, like a pretendiness that he is imagining. Not real. This is all going to be crops. Stone cutty thing. I swear to God, I just murdered one of you. There we go. Ah. There we go. And my inventory's full. I just filled it up with. Give me the vine and jump over the fence. God damn it. Right, it's all fakey, but like that's part of the game. I did that episode about too long ago, and that was because like someone I knew personally was talking about stuff, and I feel like I should be talking about this. But then I didn't share it on social media because it felt gaudy and insincere to do that. And so what was the point of it? And the point is that I just wanted to talk about it, and it's a big issue that I do think about regularly, and that I had a good impetus to finally talk about directly. And I didn't do the social media stuff simply because, I mean, I have a soul. I'm a terrible YouTuber, so I have some, well, I don't have a soul. I have scruples. I don't do souls. However, what am I doing here? I'm picking up random garbage. And then I gotta pick up that sword. Do I have enough yeah, I got enough space for that sword. You know, it still feels gaudy to me to take something of substance and then to promote it for the metrics. Not that Marianne Williamson thing. I'm happy with that Marianne Williamson thing. I actually disliked that, which made me so happy that there's someone out there that likes Marianne Williamson so much that it makes them angry for me to talk about her. It warms my heart for that to be. Anyway, is that it? Stone slab. Kind of stone. That's good. Alright. Diamond sword goes in here. And I can put that zombie flesh up. While I'm at it, I gotta get a Silk Touch pickaxe, which I think is still completely pristine. Right, but it's all fake. Like, despite that scruple. Oh no, I've used the Silk Touch pickaxe before. I'm sorry, I thought you guys were gonna get to see me kind of take it out of the box and do a Silk Touch pickaxe unboxing. Alright, let's go window by window here. Right, and that's part of it. I mean, I am not Van Velding. Like, a part of me is, yeah. But more, it is a part of me. It's the best part. It's a selected part. I don't want to say it's a brand, but it is a brand, really. It is an analytical, objective, absolute part of me that says something that you want to listen to, something that's true, that's relevant, that you want to listen to. It says it in a way that is easy to listen to. But it's just a small part. It's a well orchestrated, well presented. Well, maybe not well presented, but you know, there's some attention that's been paid to the presentation of it. But it's not real, and it's unreal. And part of that social media confusion over this episode from Friday was simply the fact that someone I knew personally and followed through, you know, my Van Velding account inspired me to say something, and yet the Van Velding account's just for like promotion and shit. Oh wait, I got a thing here. So it's inherently artificial. And you know, I think I have that bad the new base house did that. I did not finish the walls. Wheat farm didn't build the farm. Yeah, building the wheat and the potato farm is inherently inimical to those lines staying there anyway. So I did not think that through. Oh wow, I'm actually getting a little bit nauseous. I occasionally get nauseous from first-person games. Minecraft occasionally, usually with the help of liquor, or just being sick. I don't eat right. And speaking of things that are true and yet not part of the presentation of the brand. Yeah, I don't eat right, so sometimes I just don't feel good. And this is clearly motion sickness. Regardless, yeah. So it's inherently fake, like it's all inherently unreal. It's a slice of reality, which I think is a lie of omission, which I think a lot of internet personalities are. Even internet personalities who are real personalities are. Like, I love Chris Evans to death, but you know, it's no surprise that you know, he's Captain America and he goes after David Duke on Twitter. I'm sure that nobody likes David Duke. Like, that disdain is honest, but really convenient. like every time an actor plays a new role, they're like, oh, I've always loved whatever this franchise is, and they might as well check the back of their hand for the name of the franchise because, you know, they didn't. Just doing a job, man. Sure, they were aware of it, and they're probably like, oh, yeah, no, I know Star Trek. That's great. I always like Star Trek. And it's like they didn't exactly hate it, but no, they weren't fans of it. I think. Eh, maybe Star Trek is an example. Maybe Star Trek is a bad example. Because judging by the people who are guest starring on the Orville in season 2, I think that enthusiasm might be slightly real. Ted Danson is in season 2 of the Orville. Like 2 or 3 times even. I'm like, wow, that's like I don't think you just shopped out, the Admiral for this episode out to Ted Danson because he was free. Like I get the impression that Ted Danson's like, what? Yeah, I want to be an Admiral in this show that's kind of like Star Trek. I don't know his personal history with it, but Ted Danson strikes me as an authentic guy, and he's not. He's another person pretending to do thing. He's not any more real than anyone else. Oh, fuck me. Damn it. See, the thing in Minecraft is that you can be bad at platformers, but most of the time you made the platform. So it's just that much worse, With that one. Yeah, so one thing I need to do, the reason this comes back to me is that like social media wise, I just haven't had that firm line up between things that are me with my friends and family and stuff like that, and things that aren't me with this shit. And I think it ends up feeling a little schizophrenic. And then I do things here, and then people IRL are like, "Hey, what's up? How do you feel because of the thing?" And I'm like, "I appreciate that you watch the thing that's fun, but it's not real. None of this is real." It comes from a real place, so that concern isn't entirely unwarranted, but it's not real. This isn't like you don't know me through this any more than I don't know why I'm thinking Mark Wahlberg, but you don't know Mark Wahlberg from his acting, or his characters that he's played. He's just doing Mark Wahlberg things. No, that's real. I really like how these things lay down to make their own version. That was never my plan, and I think it's fucking toy. I don't think I need the. Whoop! I'm so touched pickaxing. Good. There we go. That's the fall damage. I thought it was weird I got away with that one. Yeah, and the thing is, like, no one is. I think everyone's. We go into social situations trying to be something better than what we are. And you can call that dishonest whether you want to or not. I think nerds fail to understand the prevalence of doing that and how, I don't want to say important it is, but how ubiquitous it is in the functioning of society. And the internet's no different. The internet doesn't want to get to know who you are. They want to know the part of you that's entertaining, that fulfills a role, that is someone that they want to know in some way. I mean, I think if you're on the internet, you've already heard about the woman who sold gamer bathwater. She got a bunch of thirsty ass gamers to follow her. And then she's like, hey, if we meet whatever arbitrary monetary fundraising, I will like stream nude or something. And then she didn't, or maybe she was like in nude latex or something. So basically all these gamers thought they were going to get something which they could become erotic to, and she used a technicality to trick them all out of that. Which is dishonest, like whether it's lying is not in the technicality, but in the intent to mislead. But on the other hand, I think a bunch of guys thirst following some girl on Twitter. That's too many pickaxes. I should probably make those dispensers then. I'm not exactly crying for them, and I'm not going out for vengeance. I mean, they're worse liars in the world to take issue with than someone who manipulates a bunch of thirst followers into giving her money. Like, don't be such a fucking, I don't know. I don't know what people call it these days. Don't be such a fucking mundane. Like, you have to go to a digital strip bar basically to try to like fucking crowdfund getting a woman to take her top off or something. I don't know. She let people buy gamer bathwater, which is disgusting and sad. Uh, and also part of the reason I just feel so free to have disdain for those guys, which I don't break this out often because usually calling someone a loser is simply marking them as someone who hasn't pursued socially approved metrics of success as vigorously as a fucking person who was raised to do so as if they were a rat in a Skinner cage. But, I mean, those are losers right there. If you fucking paid money so that some girl would eventually get naked on the internet, or if you bought runoff bathwater for some illicit sexual thrill, I guess be what you're into, but it's weird, and I can see why she doesn't respect you. Um, so anyway, like it's all fake. And, like as someone who's on social media, one of the things I'm gonna have to do with my Twitter account at Van Velding is I need to respond to people who do things in my area of expertise. I'm gonna have to like, there's some sort of, who would be your imaginary Starship crew? And like, I have a Star Trek. What the fuck are you doing here? Where did you come from? I thought I broke you already. I have a Star Trek podcast that currently isn't on the internet and that I need to rehost on Anchor, and then also do visualizations for, and then also finish 2 seasons of The Orville, and then also drink so much. And, I need to fucking participate in that and be like, oh my god. And it's just, a fucking, what is that, a Follow Friday, but with a bunch of extra steps in a specific genre idiom. But like, that's what you do. That's the game you play. I fucking hate quizzes because they're just coy. It's one thing pretending to be another. It's about getting information and talking about yourself, and it's to some extent about mining data these days. And I'm just like, if I want people to know about me, I'll fucking tell them about me. God, shut the fuck up. Jump in a fire. I'm gonna answer your stupid quiz. That's my whole take on the genre. But on the other hand, I do make videos that I put out into the fucking public, and some people fucking want that kind of shit. And that's part of participating in that economy. Is just saying, yeah, I do it. And even if no one cares, you do it as if someone cares. Eventually people will say, wow, this guy behaves as though people give a shit about what he does. Maybe what he does is worth giving a shit about. And it's cliche to say fake it till you make it, but in a lot of ways it kind of is. I mean, that's part of it. And you're not going to make it. That's the funny thing, is that statistically speaking, you're not going to make it. I mean, even quitters aside, the people who think that their real personality is instantly going to be loved by the internet, and no, it's not. Who you really are will not be loved by the internet. A well-crafted version of who you are might be liked by the internet, and God help you if you ever forget that that's not the real person that you are. Even if you live it every day, you're not that cartoon, that image. Chevy Chase made a career of being a fucking hapless asshole, and he became that person, and that's why no one in Hollywood can fucking stand Chevy Chase. It's not healthy to be that marketable facade. You become nothing on the inside. My source for this is just reading about the Star Trek actors, reading about Star Trek, and watching these actors go through things, have self-doubts and have realizations, and having to reconcile what fans want from them versus who they really are and where they're going to be. Leonard Nimoy famously wrote a book called I Am Not Spock, followed up with a book called I Am Spock. You know, those people's careers were ruined because they were so closely associated with those characters. Because it's not healthy, it's not good, it's not real. Ultimately, what you are to build your brand, to make people see your name or your pseudonym and go, yeah, let's do this, let's engage with this is going to give me a fun time. That can't be who you are when you go home, because that's insane. And yet the reality is acceding to that to some extent, and just saying, hey, maybe you could quit being such a grumpy bitch all the time, old Van Velding, and you could just clone yourself into a younger version of yourself that would like to answer a goddamn quiz on occasion. Just fucking quiz, not a goddamn Cardassian interrogation cell. Just fucking give your Twitter mutuals that you like and are into Star Trek a shout out to spread the meme. God. And it's not an arm twist, but it's not real. And although I realize that putting these things out on a daily basis is it's completely unreasonable to expect anyone to listen to these on a daily basis. It's basically just me putting out videos that help me with my diction and my pacing, my style, enunciation, which is still getting no better. I still owe you guys, I don't know if that video made the cut or not, I still owe you guys an episode in which I say everything with that inflective of a question, like Jillian from that Family Guy, simply because I do that too much. It's a bad habit. It doesn't work with what I think should be an authoritative style. I start sentences without thinking about how they're going to end. That's stupid. Who does that even? I know there's an old quote about, going into battle. Good generals win and then seek to do battle. Bad generals do battle and then seek to win. Starting a sentence halfway through is a lot like that in some very broad, principled way. It is. It's stupid. And, these things should be better focused of these episodes, because God knows they're not for fucking your entertainment. I couldn't imagine watching this and saying, haha, it's entertaining. But in as much as anyone's going to be watching these things, this is the... See, listen to that. In as much as anyone is going to be watching these things, see, that's nearly audible. This is a moment where I'm going to try to make that twist. This is the moment where I'm going to make that twist. And I'm going to focus more on the things that Van Velding says and does are less indicative of me personally. And the things that, I do personally can be handled through personal accounts via people that know me that are more accurate, whereas the Van Velding accounts are jokes and ideas and that thing where a 4-year-old says something really insightful even though you don't have a 4-year-old, but who fucking gives a shit? And I think that is literally dishonest, but I was talking earlier about the difference between the intent to deceive and literally untrue things. And I think when you're on the internet and when you are familiar with internet celebrities and internet influencers, it's important that you realize that none of that is real, and that to some extent they shouldn't be lying about things. Like, was it Ben Shapiro who lied about hearing liberals say how much they love Trump in a coffee shop, or was it some less relevant lunkhead? Like, you have to realize that these people are inherently lying, and they want you to believe them. I don't know, this is technically part of the mining build. Well, I don't even know, man. Just stay there, actually. Just stay there as a monument. And... stay there as well. Ah, fuck me. Okay, so we've learned something. This build needs its own wall. It's not the job of the adjoining build to hold water in. Right. So like you understand some people want you to take that stuff literally and to believe it, but 80-90% of it is not true. It's all production. And it's on you to some extent to be aware of that, to be aware of the inherent falseness of so much of it. Anyway, I'm well over my 20 minutes. Fuck you, seeds. So I'm going to grab... fuck you. I'm going to grab this old set of armor. I think it's going to... Come on. Give me them pants. Oh, there's no shoe. Armor stand. I'm going to shove this upstairs. And then I'm going to go back downstairs so that I'm not in some random ass place the next time I log. Because why would I do that? Anyway, I'm Van Velding. I hope this has been illuminating for you. And... Oh, no. Yeah, right there. Boom, right there. Right there. Right there. What is wrong with you? Do this. There we go. Fine. He's going the dying building. But we'll do that next time. Alright, I will see you later. Keep asking questions and keep learning. Don't believe anything anyone on the internet tells you.